Okay, that's great. Well, apologies to everybody. We had some technical issues with the sound on there. We're back up and running again now. But for completeness, we finished up to agenda item 5. We started agenda item 6, but weren't absolutely clear whether the recording was sufficient. So we're going to go back to and just go back to agenda item 6 again for completeness. So can I ask you, Tim, just to give us a brief overview of agenda item 6, please, the ATF Brighton Way cycle route. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a project appraisal seeking your approval to procure, spend and deliver a £551,000 scheme on Brighton Way to be funded from Department of Transport's Active Travel Fund plus developers' contributions. Scheme provides a new cycle route along Brighton Way and very much complements and supports the County Council's priorities for air quality improvements, reduced carbon emissions and promoting active travel. Public consultation was undertaken earlier this year, very much in support of the scheme. I'll hand over to David in case he wants to add any more detail.
Okay, great. David, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Humphrey. Well, just to add to Tim's comments, that we received nearly 400,000 from the DFT Active Travel Fund, which is a welcome addition to improving cycling facilities in Basingstoke, which is great news. The public consultation that we've just recently completed shows that 64% of those that responded are in full support, which again is good news. And the final thing relates to delivery of the scheme, and that we hope to have the main contractor on site this summer. And the reason that we're not doing this work at the same time as the Brighton Hill roundabout is because the DFT spend deadlines are quite tight. Thank you.
All right, that's great. Thank you. Councillor Simpson, quick comment?
Just quickly support, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. And I think what's encouraging of this was the support that it's had. I mean, certainly with the Emergency Active Travel Fund, we had to do in a very quick timescale without any consultation. This has been through and had significant support. So very pleased to see this going forward, and thanks to the team. So Katie, you'd like to accept the paper. Thank you very much. As set out, the recommendations in paras 2 to 4 on page 73. Thank you. Okay, we should now go to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 7, which is the Farnborough Growth Package. Tim?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. This paper seeks your approval to undertake advanced utility works on Lynchford Road at a cost of 0.76 million to be funded from the local growth fund. It also seeks your approval to adjust the scope of the scheme in line with the latest design guidance and local views, and there will be a full PA to follow in due course.
Okay, that's great. David, did you want to add something? David Wilson?
Thank you, Councillor Humphrey. Just to add to Tim's comments about the adjusted scope, and that we're, over the last year or so, we've very much responded to the public's initial feedback to our 4-lane option. We've broadened the scope, we've adjusted the major scheme to take account of their comments, and by broadening the scope, we've managed to secure DFT funding for active travel measures in North Camp, and we've also secured EM3 LET funding for bus priority measures in the vicinity. So really this is a good news story. We've been out to a further public consultation, which it actually just concluded within the last few days, and we've not had time to do full analysis, but early indications are really positive, and we'll report back to you in the summer, hopefully with a full PA for approval. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Councillor Simpson?
Just to congratulate them, Mr. Chairman, on an excellent consultation and for actually taking so much notice of the comments that have been given to them. So congratulations to Tim, David and the team.
That's great. Thank you for that, David, and absolutely agree with that. I had a conversation with Rushmore Borough Council and some of the exec members there, and they were very, very pleased with the engagement, and they specifically asked me to thank Alan. And if I can ask you, David, to take that back to thank Alan with all the work that he's done locally. I mean, it's been a good process to go through, as Councillor Simpson has said. You know, the first sort of proposal came forward. We had a lot of debate and discussion. We've listened to residents, listened to businesses as well. And through working with the Borough Council and the local members, and indeed the County Council members as well, a new scheme has come forward. I understand this work is provisional work, and we've still got to go through that process and make sure we approve that as well. But I'm very pleased to see this come forward now and the support that it's getting locally. So well done to you, David, and the team as well. So thank you very much. Tim, have you have anything further to add, or was that okay?
The only thing I would add, Chairman, is that the advanced utility works that we're talking about here will apply equally to whichever option is ultimately chosen.
When we do that, okay, that's great. But thank you for making that very clear. So, Katie, very happy to accept the recommendations as set out in powers 2 to 4 on page 101. Thank you very much. Okay, so now go on to agenda item 8, passenger transport contracts and concessionary fares. Tim, are you leading on this?
I'll say a few words, Chairman, then I'll hand over to Lisa. So you may recall a paper came to you to your decision day in November last year to seek approval for concessionary fare reimbursement payment arrangements. Those arrangements run to the end of this month. So this paper seeks your approval for new payments to be made from the 1st of April for 6 months that will be in line with the latest Department for Transport guidance. I'll hand over to Lisa to perhaps add a bit more detail.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks. So as Tim said, we're looking to extend the existing arrangement with a slight tweak in line with the Department for Transport's guidance, which allows us to change the way we reimburse bus operators for their concessionary fare revenue. And so instead of providing 100% of pre-COVID level payments, so i.e. bus operators would get what they got April 2019 in April 2020, from April onwards, the report proposes that we'll pay them based on the percentage of the timetable they're operating compared to the percentage of compared to their pre-COVID timetable. So if they're operating 100% of their pre-COVID timetable, they get 100% of their concessionary fare reimbursement. If they're operating 50, you get the gist. So that's the proposal in the report. The remaining items in the report ask for continuation of the existing arrangements, which are 100% contract payments for our local bus payments contracts, 100% for community transport, and 80% for our taxi share services, and 80% concessionary fare reimbursement for our taxi share services too. And that will enable the sector to continue as it is until we enter more of a recovery phase from the pandemic.
Okay, that's great, Lisa. Thank you for that. Councillor Simpson?
Seems logical and sensible, Mr. Chairman. Suggest we get on with it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I'd just like to say I meet regularly with the bus MDs, the 3 major bus operators, and they are extremely grateful of how Hampshire and the speed that they've made these decisions initially and the continuation of that. In fact, they went as far as saying we stand out alone in terms of other authorities that they deal with. So I'm very, very pleased that we've done that. So congratulations to Lisa and Andrew Wilson, who's on the call as well. I know they genuinely appreciate it and the support they've got, because they need that certainty going forward as well. And we need to make sure that we have a really good bus service in the future as well. And by supporting them up front with that, gives them that opportunity to do that. So I'm really, really pleased with it, and well done to you and the team. Tim, have you got anything further to add? Tim? Sorry.
No, thank you, Chairman.
Sorry, beg your pardon. Okay. Okay, so very happy to accept the recommendations in paras 6 to 9 on pages 109 to 110. Thank you very much, and thanks to Lisa and to Andrew as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we now go on to agenda item 9. This is the project appraisal for the Waterside East-West connectivity. Tim?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So this is, as you just said, it's a project appraisal. This is for phase 1 of the Waterside East-West connectivity package, which will complement the A326 South Junction improvements works, which were discussed earlier. Phase 1 is valued at 610,000 against the full package value of 970,000, which will be subject to cabinet approval in due course.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Councillor Simpson?
Yeah, local members are very supportive of this, Mr. Chairman. Again, a good scheme being put forward by the county.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much for that. And I noted your points that you made earlier about joining up some of the agenda items, but I think I explained that. But as I said to you, there's an awful lot of work and development going on in that area, and this is another part of that puzzle, and it sort of fits in with all the other schemes that are down there as well. So very pleased to see this going forward. So very happy to support the recommendations, Katie, as set out in paras 2 to 4 on page 119. Thank you very much. Okay, we now have an exempt paper. So I just want to, we're going to have to move into exempt session. So we'll have to exclude the press and the public. I just need to read a statement and then we'll stop the webcast if that's okay. So this is that the public be excluded from the meeting during the following item of business, as it is likely, in the view of the nature of the business to be transacted or the nature of the proceedings, that if members of the public were present during this item, there would be disclosure to them of exempt information within paras 3 of Part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972, and further that in all circumstances of the case, the public interest in maintaining the exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information for reasons as set out in the report. So all those watching from that point of view, this is about commercial sensitivity. So that's why we have to exclude the public at this point. So can I ask Katie, please, that you ask the webcast to be stopped? Thank you.